The rain came down a heavy shroud, as we made ready solemn and proud. From Kettering's docks we cast away, to brave the straits for 5 long days. The sails were hoist, a fiery red, above the deck where fears were fed. Through wind and wave the keel did strain, and we left Van Diemen's Land in rain. Then sails hung limp, all power gone. We turned the gardeners humbling on. A heart of iron 6 bore strong, its steadfast rhythm thrust us along. Soon the Denison Canal drew near, its convict huts both stark and clear. Through East Bay Neck its waters streamed, where a governor's dream of trade once gleamed. The swing bridge turned to let us pass, the channel carved in ages past. The engine droned and got us through, and bore us safe as daylight grew. Yet soon we ran on sandbanks tight, just northward of the canal's light. With shouts and toil and arms a wave, the gardener strained our course to save. Once freed from sand we forged our way, through tides that mocked with height of sway. The dolphins leapt with fleeting cheer, as Van Diemen's shores slipped to the rear. By Wineglass Bay as night closed in, we cast our chain, let calm begin. In shadows deep the anchor lay, and peaceful dreams held till day. When morn arose, a sight so fair, with pink-clad cliffs and sunlit air, the hazards pierced the morning sky, their granite peaks both steep and high. The sails did fill with joyous sound, the Oyster Catcher onward bound. At 7 knots through waves we raced, with spray and wind upon our face. The day wore on with breezes kind, through steady seas, no threat to mind. Eddystone Point by dusk we saw, its guiding light did hold and draw. By morrow Bank Strait's narrows roared, where tides and tempests wrath outpoured. At 2 knots pace we fought ahead, through salt and spray, through fear we tread. All through the day, the winds held sway, the tides conspired to bar our way. With courage thin but hope unshorn, we pressed ahead for the following morn.
And smile.
The seas did churn, the tanks were stirred, and dirty fuel the filters blurred. The gardener coughed, its breath did die, no stars to guide, no beacon's eye. With breath now lost and rhythm stilled, adrift we lay, the night was chilled. Through waves and tide, our hopes grew thin, as darkness loomed, and fear crept in. We battled long through groans and grit, with buckets catching all we'd spit. With filters swapped and water bled, the gardener roared back from the dead. Through Bass Strait's night, we made our way toward the Rip by break of day. At 4 the tide was slack and still, a calm before the rising will. From nothing ships of vastness grew, their engines hummed, their bows broke through. A horn did sound, both long and grave, a warning through the Rip it gave. Turn back, the pilot ship did cry, the western channels not to try. We turned our course to waters sound, and wound our way through mud profound. At last the river waters floated, and to her docks we proudly motored. Beneath the light of Melbourne's sun, our voyage ended, our task was done. John the master, strong and true, did guide us through the tempest's hue, with Jeff, the skipper, steady and bold, and me, the crew, through fear and cold. Through seas both calm and tempests dire, the Oyster Catcher did not tire. Through waves and wind, through salt and spray, we conquered all and found our way. At wharf we lay, the voyage done, beneath the gaze of morning's sun. With lines made fast and hearts made light, we'd weathered well both day and night. Then Chailey came with wagging tail, to greet us there in calm detail. With gentle pause and knowing grace, he nuzzled each with warm embrace. To Oyster Catcher, tired and worn, the ship's brave dog gave care that morn. And thus, with friendship's final rite, our journey closed in soft delight.